when we talk about Islamic finance, we always get mixed reactions, right? Some people say, oh, same thing, they just rebrand the interest.
Yeah, correct.
Some people say Islamic finance is a forgotten dream, can't materialize, not relevant, this, that, and the other. And all of this to me is unfortunate because it shows a very great misunderstanding and a lack of understanding of what Islamic finance is. Now, if we were to talk about Islamic finance, to me it's very good to make reference to Sayyidina Umar, right? Sayyidina Umar was the second Caliph, right? That's relevant to your branding. Now, Sayyidina Umar was once quoted as saying, poverty, if it was a man, I would kill it. So that was his take on poverty. He wanted to kill off poverty. And I dare say at the tail end of his caliphate, he was rather successful in establishing that. How? Why was he successful in establishing that? It's because he had at that point in time established and practiced very, very good Islamic finance principles. See, things like riba or interest, okay? I don't have to expound any theories on this. All you need to do is just go on the computer and Google how countries, we're not talking about individuals, but countries have insane amount of debts because of compounding interest. You can start off with a loan of about, if I remember, there's an often quoted case of one of the African states where they started off with a debt of about 6 billion, I think, and they ended up paying off more than 34 billion because of the compounding interest. And compounding interest is something that happens for not just countries, but even on our credit card statements, on our purchases, things like buying furniture. In Singapore, nobody reads the fine print, right? Interest rates can go as high as 25 to 30%, and that's actually ridiculously crazy. So, if you were to understand Islamic finance, to me, you must understand that Islamic finance is not just a rebranding of the interest, but it's a whole set of general principles that is put in place with the particular aim of eradicating poverty. And if it were to be applied properly, to me, it would definitely eradicate poverty. Now, just look at simple things, okay? Like a share compliant finance for your home, for example. There is a particular scheme that was popular quite a few years ago that is called the Musyarakah Mutanakisah, which means it's a depreciating partnership. In such a situation, you and the bank buy a house together. So imagine you're the bank and I'm the individual, right? Now I want to buy this particular house, and this house can generate a certain amount of market yield. Say this particular house that we buy could go on rental for about 4,500, and we all know alternative to buying is rental, for example. But if I were to buy under that scheme, you are the bank, you buy about 80% of the house. I, as an individual, I buy 20% of the house. So we have a co-ownership, right? Which means you own 80%, I own 20%, right? Every month, I, as the buyer, I continue to pay that $4,500 in rental. But if you think about it, $4,500 in rental, out of that 4,500, you own 80%, right? And I actually own 20% of that rental, but I'm still paying it to you. With that consistent payment every month, you still earn from your share, but your share decreases because I am slowly buying out your share. Nowhere in this equation do you see interest or anything like that. But it is a co-ownership where we reach a situation where it's fair, where you on your books as a bank, you own part of a house. Every month your share reduces, but you are earning it through this delayed buyback. It also, Islamic finance also includes principles that protect the consumer. So things like where if it's a situation where I can't pay for this, in such a situation we are co-owners. So if I can't pay, I reach a financial difficulty, I reach a situation where I'm insolvent, does the bank suddenly levy all kinds of penalties, late fees? No, we are both co-owners. How do we solve it? We can sell the house, we can split, we can move forward. So a situation, that, to me, Islamic finance is a set of principles that could really solve social financial problems that we have.
Right. Wow, very good, very good. Especially it's ethically
More
right.
sound.
Correct. Yeah. So, but is there any, especially in our context in Singapore, is there any, like what you said, the co-owners of the house and stuff in Singapore right now?
In Singapore, for home financing, there's no solution.
The solution, right? Yeah.
At the moment, there's no solution.
Yes,
many years they tried to introduce it, but then in Singapore we have several layers of complexities. Like we have CPF, how to interplay CPF monies into a Sharia compliant contract. But there are many Islamic finance enthusiasts in Singapore, and many of us are working on this to see how we can try and bring it in. But that said, in Singapore we have Sharia compliant car financing. We also have Sharia compliant deposits with more than one bank in Singapore. We have Sharia compliant fixed deposits. So options are there. The products are available.